Yay Networks.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Casillejos, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. My name's Nick Adams.
I'm Anna. Amy.
And I'm Lacey G. And guys, it's come to an end.
Bye-bye. The end of an era?
Error.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, we knew it was coming.
Yeah.
We saw it on our schedule.
Such an emotional roller coaster. And I'm not going to lie, we thought we would be plowing through and immediately already have something to launch into. Well, don't you worry. We've got something else that we're doing and a very good reason while we're doing it. But before we can head into a new era, we have to say farewell to Fearless. And I thought a good way to do that would just be to share our memories that we've had, to rank the songs, to see what's our fave five.
Top five.
Or so. Yeah.
Wait,
or however many.
We do all, we've found in previous episodes that maybe we interpret assignments a little differently. Because usually we'll just text our ideas or email them. So when we said picking your top five, did everyone rank their top five songs? Like, this is the fifth, this is the first? Or did they just say, here are my top five, they are in no particular order?
I had the hardest time doing this because Fearless as an album holds such a special place in my heart. I spent the whole day looking at the entire track list of Taylor's version. So all like 26 tracks. I was looking at them and I was trying so hard. I was like, if I had to pick a favorite child, like which one would it be? Like all this stuff. And it was stressing me out so much that I actually like put it away, like stopped looking at the track list. And then just from like the bottom of my heart, I was like, first automatically like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Which ones would they be? And I just had to. It was like a gun to my head type situation. Where I was like, if I had to pick my top five right now, what would they be? And so that's how I went about it. And I did go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Since the album means so much to you, has our breakdown been everything you thought it would be?
And more.
Oh, good.
Yes. I mean, I talked about it in various episodes, especially when we first started, breaking down Fearless, that I grew up with Fearless and Taylor, and she is the soundtrack to my life, as we know. But it's been really cool to watch you guys also experience the Fearless era, especially now that we have so much history and we know Taylor 9 albums later, like everything that we know about her, how it ties back. It's been the greatest time. I've had the best day.
So should we start getting to our rankings, our top five? It was hard for everyone. Who would like to give us their fifth favorite song?
Before we start with five, this is really, really difficult for me. I'm sure it was difficult with everybody, but I had to have an honorable mention because it didn't make it to the top five. And just the Other Side of the Door's outro alone has to have an honorable mention because it did not make my top five.
After everything in that little black dress, after everything
it didn't make top five, but it's in my heart. I love it so much.
So, well, Amy, then what is your fifth favorite song?
Yes, it is
Fearless?
Love Story.
Why do you love Love Story so much?
Well, it's the idea of the fairy tale that holds the whole album together, I feel like. It was tied with The Other Side of the Door and 5 other songs for the longest time, but I had to whittle it down. I don't know, that forbidden romance, it's just exciting.
It's iconic.
Yeah.
I have to sadly say that Love Story did not make it on my list. And that was one that was hard not to put it on because that song, I never heard it until I saw her on her 1989 tour. And I heard that song and I was like, what is this? I cannot wait to go home and play it for my sister. And that's immediately what I did. I absolutely love that song.
And I'm a sucker for love stories.
Yeah.
I love love. So that's why it's top 5.
Well, Lacey, what's your fifth song?
My fifth song, you can't help but scream this at the top of your lungs anytime it comes on. Because I love fairy tales too, but I also know that life isn't a fairy tale. But I'm not here to poo-poo on other people who's like, oh, I think everything's going to be fantastic in life. It's not, but that's cool. It's great to think that way. But I like this song because today was like a fairy tale. It's not that I believe in fairy tales and I'm waiting for this Prince Charming to come get me and rescue me. Just today was like a fairy tale, and I really like it.
Well, my fifth song is a bonus track.
Ooh.
From the vault, Don't You. So I kind of feel like I like it because I just feel like when you're listening to it, it almost makes me feel like I'm in like a swimming pool, like I'm floating on a raft, and it's just like the music's just kind of washing over you. Love it. Anna, what's your fifth one?
My top 5, and again, this was like so hard, like it was for everyone else, but my 5th favorite song is the title track, Fearless. And I picked this because, I mean, obviously it is the title track of the album, but I think it perfectly shows what the album is. Like, I don't know. Like
it tells you what you're getting on this
yes,
album.
like the vibe, the imagery, the lyrics, the love, like everything. I think it was the perfect title track.
Yeah, I agree. Amy, let's move on to number 4 on Fearless.
I chose White Horse.
So it's another pretty fairy tale-y type thing, Amy.
It is. And I love stories, but I also like a good breakup song. So I don't know. I think I lean towards a slower beat and the lower tones that she sings, and the rest of my top 5 are in all those songs. So just know what you're getting.
All the sad, slow ones.
Yeah.
So since I was a newbie to Fearless, every time I hear a song, it brings me back to a particular moment. And that song brings me back to CSI. Every single time I hear that song, I can think about her on CSI. But my number 4 is because I also have a type. Perfect day. Because I'm dramatic and I'm confused. And I absolutely love that song. I love that song. I could listen to that song anytime. And also bonus, I could use it as an excuse. Why are you trying to ruin my day? Just throw that guilt trip on somebody whenever I need it.
This was the hardest song to cut from my list.
Yeah, was it?
Gosh, it really was. It's so good.
It is so good.
See, this is where I really started running into trouble about what's going to start taking the top for me. But for number 4, this might be controversial. Some might think it should be higher. Forever and Always. I kind of feel like, similar to what you said about the song Fearless, this kind of gives you a lot of the album's spunk.
I agree.
And everything like that. It's just kind of like a perfect mush of everything.
It really is very Fearless era.
Yeah, definitely. Like you hear it and you know, that's Fearless.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's a sin to put that at number 4, but not nearly as bad as it is to put All
Too Well at
number 3, Amy.
Goodness.
Gosh.
Anna, what's your number 4 song?
My number 4 is one that I didn't appreciate enough the first time, and that's The Other Side of the Door. I really struggled because I kind of thought I would have ranked that one a little higher. But yeah, it's my number 4 because there were 3 others. I just had to.
I get it.
This is so hard.
Well, Amy, we'll go to you for number 3.
I picked The Best Day. The love letter to mom. I don't know. There's more than one kind of relationship, and I like that she just appreciates all that her mom's done for her.
Yeah,
I get that. I relate to that.
I cry so much.
It's a
I
connection.
sometimes I cry.
Yeah.
Me too.
Anna, we haven't had you cry on this podcast.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Maybe today's the day. Lacey, what's number 3 for you?
So number 3, what I relate to is hate. And my number 3 is something Nick has already mentioned. It's Don't You. That's so deep and there's so much there. And I do absolutely love that song.
So number 3 for me, it had to be in there somewhere. I chose Jump Then Fall. I just love that idea of jump then fall into me. I don't know. I just love it's such a clever way to word something, and it makes me just love the song so much.
Nick, you should be scared of falling considering that you fell into your pool and broke your foot.
I did. True story.
Yeah.
True story. I did that somehow. Anna, what is your 3rd favorite song?
My number 3 is an absolute banger that I cannot believe Taylor Swift just kept from us, and that's Mr. Perfectly Fine. I am absolutely confident that if Mr. Perfectly Fine was released as a single back in 2008, it would have been number one for like 20,000 weeks.
Yeah.
I stand by that. I think it's wonderful that she released it with Taylor's version, but we had so much with Taylor's version that a lot of things got overshadowed, you know what I mean? Like as singles. But I just love that song so much.
Like her vault songs on this album are just so good.
So good.
But I
Every
mean,
single one of
her
them.
bonus songs on all of her albums are just
so good.
And it's just like, man, New Romantics is a vault song or is a bonus song? That can't be
Yeah.
like on the regular album? No.
And You Are in Love?
One of my favorites. Yeah. Okay. So let's go back to Amy. What is your second favorite song on Fearless?
So it comes from the vault. We were happy. That emotional feeling guilty for falling out of love with someone that's so folklore and evermore.
It is.
Oh, I can't get over it.
Just listening to these songs now makes me question my list. And I know that obviously out of all these songs, you had to leave majority of them off.
Yeah.
But then it was so hard binging and listening and deciding who got into my slots. That kind of sounds weird
Excuse
to
me?
say out loud.
It's a family show, Lacey.
But my second has already been mentioned. But
Goodbye, Mr. Perfectly Fine.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And Anna, whenever you were talking about it, it made me wonder, this was a vault song. I wonder if she changed the music and the tempo
Oh, maybe.
from the original, because she was still super controlled then, and she didn't have all the freedoms that she had. She had to listen, hey, put Untouchable on this album. You need to cover this song and do this. So she wasn't allowed to be poppy then.
Right.
So I wonder if it had more of a country track,
And
then she
maybe-
changed it later.
And that she's healed some, and it's not that painful, slow anymore.
She's
It's-
having more fun with it.
Yeah.
And, you know, just hearing that part again, it kind of gave me like Last Great American Dynasty vibes,
Ooh.
where
She
it's at the
switches it.
end, she switches it, and you're like, oh, wait a
That's like-
second. Oh, what'd you do there? Oh.
Full story.
I love it. I love it when she does that.
Yeah.
So my second favorite song is just a staple in the Taylor Swift catalog of music. You can't talk about Taylor Swift without 15. It's kind of a broken record when we say this for just about every song, but just the way that she can put into words a feeling that so many people have felt. And there it is. It's right there, and it's in a perfect song.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really cool that there's 15-year-olds now that get to experience it like we did way back when.
It's timeless.
Timeless.
Anyone, no matter what age, can relate to that
yeah,
song.
of course.
Anna, what's your second favorite song?
My second favorite song is Tell Me Why, because this is like the song that just for some reason to me just feels really nostalgic. Like if I'm listening to Taylor's entire discography on shuffle, which I do almost every day, I mean that. When Tell Me Why comes on, it just takes me straight back to 2008. That is nostalgia to a T for me. That is Fearless era middle school screaming in the car. So it had to be
Who's your
number
best
two.
friend in 2008?
Oh, my friend Allie.
Allie.
I love her. Texted her this morning.
Would y'all like blare this in the car while your mom is driving in the front seat and you're
My-
sitting in the back?
My friends and I, we used to quiz each other on if we knew the order of the track list. Like
Wow.
without looking at the back of the
Wow.
CD, we'd be like, do you know the order? We'd be like, Fearless, Love Story, like in order. We'd like
You
quiz
just
each
messed
other.
up.
You should
Well,
do
I
a podcast
haven't-
with them.
Excuse
Why are you
me?
doing it with us? Okay, well, Amy, let's hear your favorite song from Fearless.
I'm ashamed to say that I did not know this song until we started breaking it down. But number one is Breathe. The way that you said being in a pool, it's had this song
Yes,
for me.
yes.
And also the lyric video has like the water or whatever, so that's probably why. But I don't know, it's just so beautiful. Her voice with Colby Calais, I think I said her name right.
Yeah.
I just love it so much. So much. So much.
Moira over here.
Yeah.
Breathe is very you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think
That's so
too.
Amy.
That is so Amy.
Thank you.
Wow, what an
Oh my
Amy
God.
choice.
Oh my God, Amy.
Well, Lacey, were you able to figure out a favorite song?
I don't math. So I have two number ones.
Oh,
Cheater.
So
wow.
wow.
I have two number ones, and I also have a song that didn't make it, that barely didn't make it. So
she has 2 bonuses.
She just did her top 7.
I don't follow rules, y'all. Okay, so I do have a tie for first. I wasn't familiar with either one of these songs until I got to break down and learn this album with you guys. So I don't remember in order, and I don't care. Here's one. And I have to be honest, Swifties, my fellow 13ers, I was a little shocked that was not higher on y'all's list. And it was on mine partially because of the memories with y'all, because having so much fun with this song and referencing it so many times, the fact that couldn't get over this song, and also the dramatic in it.
Yeah.
I do love the complicated feeling that she just knows how to word so perfectly. And tied for first place is the very first song that I loved on this album. Whenever Anna graciously gave us this album whenever we first started recording, and I just went home and binged it, put it in my car, and just straight listened to it. And this was the first song I text her about.
Were you just kidding?
Because I love it.
Seems
I love
to me.
it. I love it. And also, I love Oliver Tuesday references
Yeah.
because of Taylor Tuesday. So there's just so many emotional ties to that song.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love the emotion there.
Well, for me, my number 1, I've made it no secret what one of my favorite songs on this album was. I don't stop talking about it. I listen to it every day. I think this song is almost perfect, and it's a From the Vault song. It's That's When. I don't know all of the reasons why I love it so much. It just puts me in a great mood, and it's great. Anna,
Yes.
you love Taylor Swift the most out of anyone on this podcast?
I said I wouldn't cry. This is, I've had to think about this for absolute hours on what my favorite song from Fearless is. And I think it was just like at the end of the day, the song that if I'm listening to Fearless, I would A, never skip it, and B, sing every single word. And I also have such a huge love for the Jonas Brothers, so it's obviously Forever and Always. My favorite. My absolute favorite.
You guys, I feel really bad for the other songs.
Do you?
I know.
I really do. Like, there's so many good ones.
There's a lot, and we were joking about it in our group text where we're like, should we just do like top 25 and pick which one we would cut? What's the one that doesn't make your top 25?
Well, Lacey, you had a few bonuses.
Yeah, I have one. This one was super hard not to put on. We Were Happy. Because I absolutely love this podcast. I love working with you guys. I am so honored by the fact that we get to do this and that my job, something that I have to do, is listen to Taylor Swift. People complain about their jobs, and I'm like, oh, don't disturb me. I'm binging Taylor Swift right now.
What a blessing.
Yes, what an honor. And that's why we all know that saying goodbye can be really hard to do. It can put you in the feels. You might have trouble dealing with some of your feelings, and that's where BetterHelp can come in, because BetterHelp is a professional counseling done securely online, and they can help you sort out your feelings and help you with all kind of problems that you might be having, such as depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping, trauma. They can help you out in many areas of your life.
What I love about BetterHelp is that you can get help from a licensed professional counselor right from the comfort of your own home. You can do a phone session, you can do a video session, whatever you want to do, and you don't have to drive across town. You don't have to sit in an awkward waiting room anymore. You can do it right at home.
And you also get matched with someone that knows what you're going through. I used BetterHelp once, and I felt like my therapist just wasn't understanding what I was trying to say. So I got rematched with another therapist, and since then, I have had the best experience with BetterHelp.
You'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions.
And anything you share is confidential, it's convenient, it's professional, and it's affordable.
And you don't just have to take our word for it. You can check out, they have plenty of testimonials that they post daily on their site.
We want you to start living a happier life today. So as a listener, you're going to get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/Taylor Swift fan. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Taylor Swift fan.
And before we say farewell, I wanted to close out this farewell to Fearless era with an ode. Thank you for the great memories I made with my friends. Breaking it down, it made me feel 15 again. Some would call it the best day ever. Thank you for giving me the giggles at your giggle during Hey Steven, for keeping me entertained with all the Joe drama, for gracing us with your acting abilities during this era. Thank you Taylor and Fearless for selling great merch, and sometimes some very generous Swifties send us some of your fun stuff. So thank you for all that. Plus, for the merch that likely won't ever be available from the 13 podcast, but we still have fun talking about it, like the shirt that says I wear t-shirts and day one, tay one. I'll never forget comparing your version, which I'm very proud to say, and every time I say it, that I am so proud to say it is Taylor's version, to the demos. You've matured in so many ways, but I could still listen to you talk about boys all day. I'm glad you found your love, but I enjoyed the emotions I felt as you wrote about your heartbreaks, fairy tales, and all the romantic moments in the rain, and for giving us the confidence to go headfirst and fearless, for encouraging us to say hallelujah, for teaching us to come in with the rain, whatever that means. And because of your album Fearless, I have lived and I have learned, and I admire the way that you've invested in your future while taking back your past. I feel pride when I feel you hear your song change, and the fact that you did make the change. And I'm really excited for what you have planned next. And that's it.
Aw, that was beautiful.
That's really
Was that
great.
plagiarized?
It was not. That was.
What movie was that from?
I'm just kidding. That was wonderful, Lacey. That
I
was really,
can't
really wonderful.
believe that she's giving us red next. I can't believe that curveball that she threw at us. But then the big question is, what are we going to do in the meantime? Because we're out every Tuesday, guys.
Yeah, we got to do something.
And we thought long and hard and discussed it. Do we go back to debut? Do we start at another fun one like Speak Now?
Mm-hmm.
No, because Taylor doesn't own those yet.
Nope.
So we're not going to do something that someone else owns. So we have
Until
decided.
we run out of material and we have to.
We will obviously be doing Red Taylor's version in November. Starting in
Yeah,
November.
but what are we going to do? That's 20 months away.
Should we drum roll which album we're breaking down next? Do we all say it at the same time?
Yes.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Lover!
Hey.
1, 2, 3. Let's go, bitch.
Because Taylor does own that album. So we have to go back, and we felt like Evermore and Folklore is just too new. So we've already deep dived into that. We've already deep dived into Lover, to be
Sure,
honest,
we
but it's
have.
going to be fun to go back over it and with a new and fresh perspective.
Yes, music videos, everything that we've gotten from the Lover era.
Lover has, as each of her albums go, forward, there's just more Easter eggs. So there's a lot to digest in Lover. She kind of sings about every relationship she's ever been in one way or another. And so it's going to be really fun to break those down.
Yo, we're going to have a cruel summer.
It's going to be so much fun, and we're going to get to explore Cornelia Street, which I actually just did.
Yay!
And I was so excited. I was with some people who weren't Swifties, and I kept saying, I've got to go to Cornelia Street. And they're like, why? Because Taylor Swift used to live there. And they're like, okay, I don't get it, but that's fine. So I did go to Cornelia Street. It is not a long street at all. It's just a very, very small street. I love cheese almost as much as I love Taylor Swift.
Hold on. I thought we were talking about Cornelia.
Hold on, I'm getting there.
Oh.
So on the corner of Cornelia Street is a cheese shop. And I stopped at this cheese shop and I got cheese to go. I call it street cheese and I keep it in my purse, and then later it's warm cheese. And then by the time I make it back to the hotel, I've just got to ditch the cheese.
Queso
because
at that point.
It's questionable at that point. It's not very good.
What's happening right now?
I met a Swiftie at the cheese shop who was working there, and she was so cute. She was wearing a Fearless Taylor's version shirt. And she standing up at the counter and she's like, can I help anybody? Can I help anybody with anything? If not cheese, with your life. Like, what do you need? And I'm like, we need to talk about Taylor Swift. Girl, she just announced Red. And so her and I fangirled over that. And then she sold me cheese. It was a perfect moment. And then I walked on Cornelia Street. And it was so great because it's such a small street. Everybody who was walking through there was walking there with a purpose. There's nothing but apartments there. And everybody would point and say, that's Taylor's. That is formerly Taylor's house.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. It was really a nice experience.
Were other people there taking like pictures and stuff?
They were strolling by. They were just strolling by. I mean, I kind of hogged it while I was there. I'm like, this is my moment. I wanted to bang on the door and be like, Taylor, are you still here?
Do you feel like you can just never walk Cornelia Street again after having such a good experience?
It was wonderful. What I do regret, I ended up too late. I Googled dive bars.
Don't tell me something happened to your cheese.
Nothing.
Okay.
I had to throw
Dive
it away.
bars on the east side?
I ate it and it was questionable and then I threw it away. I did Google dive bars because I said, well, what is Taylor talking about whenever she's referencing all these dive bars? And it was a place called Love is in the Air or Love something, and it was too late for me to be able to go to it. So
next time.
I missed that. I should have done my research before, but that was the inspiration for Lover.
Yeah, well, you know what? Next time, we'll all take a trip to New York whenever she announces 1989 Taylor's version. Welcome to New York, which,
Yes.
I don't know, could be this Thursday.
I'm
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
I have had the thought.
I bet it's gonna be Thursday.
I'm totally kidding. No, this has been awesome. This has been a wonderful farewell to Fearless. I'm so excited to have a cruel summer and get into Lover. You can find us on social media at the 13 Podcast and let us know what your top 5 are. I mean, it might take you a while to figure it out, but once you do, let us know. Tag us. We'd love to know.
So join us next time because we will start breaking down Lover. And the very first track, I Forgot That You Existed.
Thanks for listening to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.